Simone Biles has a message for online haters who called her a quitter. The gymnastics star took to Instagram to reminisce on her journey 1 month after departing the 2021 Tokyo Olympics with a bronze medal after withdrawing from most of her planned events. What is her message? We're about to tell you. What does Biles say to the haters? Simone Biles is not going to allow the haters to get the best of her. She turns to Instagram to reflect on her trip 1 month after departing the 2021 Tokyo Olympics with a bronze medal after withdrawing from most of the events she had originally planned. The Olympics did not go as planned for her, but she said she would not change a thing about her experience in a post on Facebook. She said she's pleased with herself and with the progress she has made in her career so far. She also said it was important to note that these Olympics did not erase her previous achievements, nor does it define who she is as an athlete. In addition, if you're upset with Biles for withdrawing herself from a highly successful and perhaps deadly scenario, the greatest of all time, GOAT, has a message for you. She stated that she had pushed through so much in the past couple of years that the word quitter is not in her vocabulary. She said that may be how some people define her, but that they should keep talking because she can't hear them over her 7 Olympic medals, which tied her for the most decorated gymnast in history, as well as the most decorated American gymnast. The comment section of the post, which has received more than 800,000 likes, has been inundated with messages of support from followers. The American Crime Story impeachment actor Bernie Feldstein responded to the post saying, "You were the most remarkable human ever to exist." A third person commented, "I can't hear you over my 7 Olympic medals." Okay, in order to help the people in the back. In the weeks after her return from Japan, Simone Biles has been enjoying herself by the pool and commemorating the 1-year anniversary of her relationship with NFL player boyfriend Jonathan Owens. August saw the gymnast post a series of photographs from a girls' weekend on Instagram where she wore a pale blue bikini and a white bandana, among other outfits. "Beaching until further notice," she wrote in the caption of one of the pictures. Prior to her participation in the Olympics, Biles spoke with glamour about how she discovered new interests while in quarantine. "Before I would only focus on the gym," she said, "but me being happy outside the gym is just as important as me being happy and doing well in the gym. Now it's like everything's coming together." She went on to say, "I feel like everybody was painting or knitting or doing something cool in quarantine, so I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do my makeup, my hair, and my nails. I almost ruined my nails, so that is no longer permitted. I've definitely gotten better at doing my hair, but clearly I'm not gifted in that department. I'm just really trying to find who I am." It's always interesting how those with no experience want to tell others what to do or who they are. Biles has made her mark on gymnastics for years to come. In the end, Simone Biles went away from the Tokyo Olympics with her head held high and her illustrious gymnastics career firmly in place. The celebrity withdrew from the competition on her own terms after taking time out to focus on her mental health during the tournament. Gymnasts like Simone Biles, who have tied for the most gold won by an American gymnast at the Olympics, are expected to transcend the sport, advocating for mental health and wellness, and ushering it through the last vestiges of its darkest moment, the Larry Nassar crisis, according to experts. Nassar, a former doctor for the United States gymnastics team, has been accused of sexually assaulting more than 120 girls. In 2018, he entered a guilty plea in a Michigan courtroom for sexually abusing 10 juveniles and is now facing up to 175 years in prison. Biles, who has stated that she is a survivor of Nassar's abuse, has already spoken up about how it has affected her, and she has stated that her performance at the Olympics was probably influenced by it. She'll now have the chance to continue speaking out against sexual assault and advocating any other social causes as she chooses to champion in the future. I'd say Simone's legacy is actually far greater reaching than medal count, and are beginning to help facilitate the change of culture in our sport, said Bob Mead, Director of Communications for the National Gymnastics Association. As a result of her 32 Olympic and world medals, he believes Biles will mark a shift in the direction of campaigning for more safety and better treatment of athletes and coaches. Mead predicts that she will become more outspoken and will take on a larger role in the future. After struggling early in the competition in Tokyo, Biles withdrew from the team all-around, the individual all-around, the vault, the floor exercise, and the uneven bar events. She mentioned the psychological and emotional toll of competing in the games as one of the reasons for her decision to withdraw. "Physically, I feel good. I'm in shape," she told the NBC Today show following her exit. "Emotionally, it varies on the time and moment. Coming in the Olympics and being head start isn't an easy feat." Those opposed to Biles' decision expressed outrage, claiming she had abandoned her team, but mental health advocates praised Biles. the most decorated gymnast in history, for knowing when to take time out for herself and for recognizing the need for self-care. Biles, a black woman who is a dominant force in a predominantly white sport, admitted that she was under a lot of pressure leading up to the world competition. She described it as having the weight of the entire world on your shoulders. She admits that it's a little bit too heavy to carry, but she believes that taking a step back and focusing on her mental health is beneficial. She explained that at the time she was coping with the twisties, a phenomenon that can cause possible harm when gymnasts lose their sense of space and dimension in midair, even if they've performed the same technique for years without difficulty. In an interview with ESPN, Darren Moore, head of the Atlanta-based advocacy group Brown Girls Do Gymnastics, claimed that Biles' legacy will be inextricably linked to her decision in Tokyo. "I feel before her legacy was going to be about her ability and skill in showing brown girls you can be who you want to be," Moore said. But now that she bowed out a lot of the Olympics, I think her legacy will be around mental health. As tough as she is and as talented as she is, she still knew when she needed to take a break. I think that's huge for her. Biles wasn't scared to push the boundaries or to be the best gymnast she could be, which she believes will open the way for many black and brown girls to follow in her footsteps in the future. Biles' influence on the sport will almost certainly grow as a result of her parents' World Champion Center, which was established in the Houston region and where she will almost certainly mold the next generation of world-class gymnasts. Sophie was one of the first persons to create a gym and coach children in the manner of which she wanted to be coached herself. Simone was always good, but she aspired to be even better. According to Ashley Umberger, a gymnastics member of the United States national team in 2001, Biles believes she'll be able to draw on her previous experience to train future Olympic gymnasts. "You're familiar with the training and mentality because you were the athlete yourself. And once the athlete takes on the role of coach, it's like entering another world," said Umberger, who owns North Stars Gymnastics in New Jersey. "She's going to have the feel of going to the Olympics. She's going to have the experience of what it's like to be an Olympic champion, what it feels like to make a mistake and come back." The World Champion Center has already achieved significant success. Jordan Childs, an Olympic gymnast who nearly quit the sport before beginning her training in the United States in 2018, was Biles' last-minute replacement this year, and she contributed to Team USA's silver medal finish. NBC Sports reported in May that Childs had grown up in a world where everything was strict. The world champions have been a tremendous source of inspiration for her. Previously, she didn't get that much of a response. Moore explained the fact that the gym is owned by African Americans, which makes it a beacon for African American elite gymnasts. "It wasn't by chance that this happened. That's a Simone thing, to be honest. It'll serve as a model for future work." Despite the fact that Biles is a phenomenal athlete, some predict her star will dim a little in the years to come. The fading of a well-known Olympic gymnast would not be the first time this has happened. Former household names Dominique Dawes and Shannon Miller, who both won gold medals as members of the 1996 Magnificent Seven squad, are no longer well-known and are no longer in the public spotlight on a regular basis. In the words of Umberger, "I don't think it's possible to forget about Simone Biles." Neat stated that Biles' influence will eventually outweigh her accomplishments and will be essential in guiding the next generation of competitors. Her role isn't going to be just coaching in the gym, but leading a cultural shift of protecting the wellness of athletes and coaches. Her biggest role coming out of the Olympic Games is helping to shift the culture. That's her legacy. She's the person to do it. She is the individual that understands it better than anybody. What's your take on Simone Biles? Do you think she deserves the negative comments?